The early life of Napoleon Bonaparte is a fascinating study of an outsider who used intellectual rigor and military talent to navigate a crumbling old world and rise within a chaotic new one. The Corsican outsider born Napoleone Bonaparte in 1769 in Ajaccio, Corsica, he was not French in the traditional sense. His family were minor members of the Italian Corsican nobility. Only a year before his birth, France had conquered the island from Genoa. As a boy, Napoleon was a fierce Corsican nationalist who initially hated France for its tyranny over his homeland. At age 9, he was sent to military school in mainland France, Brienne-le-Château, where he was teased by classmates for his thick Corsican accent and his relatively modest means. This isolation led him to become a voracious reader, focusing on history, law, and the great commanders of antiquity like Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. Military education and early career. Despite the social friction, his brilliance in mathematics and geography was undeniable. He eventually earned a spot at the prestigious École Militaire in Paris. Remarkably, he completed the 2-year course in just 1 year, becoming an artillery officer at age 16. Artillery was a technical branch of the military, relying on physics and math rather than just social status. A perfect fit for a young man who relied on merit rather than connections. The French Revolution, a door opens. When the French Revolution broke out in 1789, it presented a massive opportunity. The revolution abolished the rule that only high-born nobles could lead the army. Napoleon's first major breakthrough came in 1793 at the Siege of Toulon. Royalist rebels, backed by the British fleet, held the city. Napoleon, then a captain, devised a brilliant plan to position cannons to drive the British ships out of the harbor. The plan worked perfectly, and at age 24 he was promoted to brigadier general. A whiff of grapeshot. Napoleon's rise wasn't just on the battlefield, it was also in the halls of political power. In 1795 he defended the revolutionary government, the Directory, against a royalist uprising in Paris. He famously cleared the streets by using cannons loaded with grapeshot, small metal balls, against the insurgents. This ruthless efficiency made him a hero to the government and led to his command of the Army of Italy. On December 2, 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte stood in the Notre Dame Cathedral and, in a move of supreme self-confidence, took the crown from the hands of Pope Pius VII to place it on his own head. This act signaled that his power came from his own achievements, not from divine right or the church. Life as emperor. The architect of modern Europe as emperor. Napoleon was a workaholic who personally oversaw everything from military strategy to the width of Parisian streets. His reign was defined by 2 parallel efforts: the Napoleonic Code. This was perhaps his most lasting legacy. He replaced a patchwork of feudal laws with a single, clear legal code. It established that all male citizens were equal before the law and protected property rights. The Grand Empire. Through a series of brilliant victories, like Austerlitz in 1805, he brought most of Europe under French control. He placed his brothers and sisters on the thrones of Spain, Holland, Naples, and Westphalia, effectively running Europe as a family business. The Imperial Court. Despite his revolutionary roots, he recreated a glittering aristocracy. He married Marie-Louise of Austria, after divorcing Josephine, to link his bloodline with the ancient Habsburg dynasty, desperate to produce an heir. The turning point, the Russian disaster, 1812. While many point to Waterloo as his final fall, his biggest and most devastating defeat was the invasion of Russia. In June 1812, Napoleon led the Grande Armée, roughly 600,000 men, into Russia to force Tsar Alexander III back into a trade blockade against Britain. The Russians practiced a scorched earth policy, retreating and burning crops and shelters so the French had nothing to eat. Napoleon reached a burning, deserted Moscow in September, but found no one to surrender. During the long retreat in the brutal Russian winter, his army was decimated by hunger, typhus, and freezing temperatures. Of the 600,000 who entered, fewer than 100,000 returned. He never truly recovered from this loss of manpower and prestige. The final defeat, the Battle of Waterloo, 1815. After a brief exile to the island of Elba, Napoleon escaped and returned to France for a final 100 days of power. His ultimate military defeat occurred on June 18, 1815 in present-day Belgium.